Well, it seems like the United States have decided enough was enough and shot down the intruding Chinese surveillance balloon that I talked about in my last video. An F-22 apparently used an AIM-9 Sidewinder to knock the intruder down after it crossed over the coast of South Carolina and into the Atlantic Ocean, where it was evidently considered safe to shoot down. Whatever the reason for the balloon's mission, it has firmly soured relations between the US and China, and the visit by Secretary of State Blinken has been cancelled as a result. But politics aside, the shootdown of the balloon throws up a couple of interesting details that will go down in the history books. Firstly, this is the first acknowledged shootdown by the F-22, and apparently the pilots used the call sign Frank for the mission, a salute to Frank Luke Jr., who was an American pilot in World War I and was credited with shooting down 14 German observation balloons. Another interesting note is that this may be the highest aggressive air-to-air kill in history, as in on a notionally hostile craft. The balloon is reported to have been flying at between 60,000 and 65,000 feet, and though surface-to-air missiles have achieved kills at higher altitudes, and indeed anti-satellite missiles have been launched from aircraft and killed vehicles in orbit in testing, this is quite likely the highest active kill. Somewhat relative, but I'm sure you get the point. Oh, but just to take the wind out of the Raptor pilot's wings a bit, this still means your aircraft has as many air-to-air kills as the F-111, and that was against an enemy fighter. But excitement over South Carolina notwithstanding, there have been a couple of other engagements involving aircraft in the last week or so that haven't really made the news, but again are rather remarkable. It certainly has been a bad time for Sukhoi Su-25s. On the 2nd of February, Ukrainian National Guardsmen claimed to have shot down a Russian Su-25 near Bakhmut. According to Ukrainian news sources, the men shot down the aircraft with a 9K-38 Igla MANPADS, NATO designation SA-18 Grouse, but there is no independent confirmation of this. There is more evidence on another event though. On January 24th, an Su-25 of the Armed Forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo was hit by a MANPADS while flying over the Congolese city of Goma, which borders with neighbouring Rwanda. According to the Rwandans, whose forces apparently fired the missile, the aircraft had violated their airspace multiple times. Congo and Rwanda have a fraught relationship, to put it mildly, but fortunately the pilot was able to get the aircraft down at Goma Airport, where despite the Sukhoi leaking burning fuel, it was largely apparently saved from further damage by the quick actions of the airport's firefighters. Indeed, looking at the damage sustained, it looks like the Su-25 lived up to the type's reputation for toughness. But in addition to all this excitement in the Americas, Europe and Africa, Asia also has had a reported aircraft shootdown, though this one sounds more like something from a video game. According to the NUG Ministry of Defence, which represents the democratically elected government of Myanmar in exile, local People's Defence Forces of the Kanti District Battalion 1 shot down a helicopter belonging to the military junta that seized power in a coup 2 years ago on the 3rd of February. But as anti-aircraft weapons are effectively non-existent with the Myanmar resistance, the reports are that the PDF achieved this with an M79 grenade launcher. And if that's true, that has to be a first. Now, I should point out I can't independently confirm all this, but it does seem an odd detail to put in. And I guess that when push comes to shove, you just have to use what you have on hand.